We made a lure out of Legos. New PB. Lady fights fisherman. Cops called. We fished in Bass Pro Shops. They kicked us out. Fishing challenge. Loser eats what? You guys fallen for clickbait before? I know I have. It's enticing. It's interesting. It might be questionable in terms of marketing your channel, but here's the deal. I've got a new kind of clickbait for you guys today. It's the clickbait. It's the Chatterbait from the Googan Squad. We're gonna look at it today. I'm gonna give you guys a full breakdown, my full review of what I think of this thing. I love me some Chatterbait fishing, so I'm gonna be comparing it to some of my favorite Chatterbaits of all time, and then we're gonna go out on the water and actually fish this thing around and see if it's worth the $8.99 price tag that it comes with. So stay tuned for more of that. Before we get through all that, if this is your first time stopping by the channel and you like content like this, gear reviews, unboxings, we've got all that here on the channel, so consider subscribing, smash a like on this video, ring that notification bell so you can see when we drop more content. Let's talk about this clickbait, huh? Okay, so I picked up two colors because at the time, I ordered this like Black Friday week, Carl's Bait and Tackle. Oh, by the way, if you've been listening to our podcast, you might have heard a few episodes ago on our ice fishing episode that this box went missing. I just forgot about it, and then I looked up my tracking number, and it was somewhere in Illinois. But eventually, it found its way home. So I'm super stoked to have all the gear that I had ordered finally. And I just want to break down mainly this one for you guys. It's about a bunch of boring stuff, like paddle tails. This is actually a pretty sexy color. This is the Exo Swim, Biospawn Exo Swim. Pretty fantastic color. But yeah, just a bunch of boring stuff. And a new scale so I can measure PBs. Hey. So I was only able to pick up two colors, but I ended up getting the Fire Craw, which is juicy a heck. And then I got the Blue Craw, which I'll open here in a second. The Fire Craw, this one came in a 3/8 of an ounce. And I mean, I gotta say, first look, pulling this thing out of the box. First of all, the color is amazing. I don't know about you guys. I don't have any red chatterbaits, but apparently I should. A lot of guys that fish around Michigan that are just crushing it, even at this point in the year, have been throwing these red chatterbaits a lot. So I'm like, dude, thanks for letting me know. What do you guys think? Fire Craw? Is that the juice? You've been throwing Fire Craw? Has it been amazing for you? Let me know in the comments below. We'll see if this does anything for us this late in the game. It's December. I'm filming this on December 8th. Last time I went out on the water, there was ice in the guides. Chances are low we make anything happen, but at the very least, I want to see how these things perform underwater. At any rate, there's the Fire Craw. I think it's a juicy color. You'll notice like right off the bat, these have a very unique blade shape. I'm going to compare this to some other chatterbaits that I often use. I'll show you guys what the difference is, but you'll see right away, it's got this like heavy wire coming up off the front of that jig head, and then it's holding this blade in a very peculiar position, kind of just upright and forward. And then we've got this stainless steel balls that are below that. There's 3 on the bottom, 1 on top, which should create sort of a unique chattering, vibrating action that you're not going to get out of any other baits, at least that I've seen. So there's a very unique look to it, unique action. There's the Blue Craw. So it's got like, you know, the greens, blues, and whites in the skirt. Got more of the blue-green hue on the head. You can even see like the eye detail that they throw on all their Googan baits, so that looks good. Same thing, heavy wire, 3 beads there, 1 on top. Between these two colors, Fire Craw, Blue Craw, between these two colors, which one would you be throwing in your waters? Let me know in the comments. So off the bat, I mean, quality of the blade seems good. I mean, it seems durable enough. So let's compare that to a couple of the other chatterbaits I normally fish. So here's the ZMan. This is a classic. This is a ZMan original. You can tell I beat the crap out of this thing, but compared to the clickbait, it's got a much smaller blade, sharper edges. This one's more rounded, right? And the position of it kind of depends on that line tie. So there's our line tie right there. I think you're gonna get a bit more movement side to side with the original chatterbait here, with that OG, right? So it's gonna be a little bit different. Not sure how this is gonna work deflecting off of cover, pulling through grass. Typically my go-to with chatterbaits is like pulling them through the grass, like get them into the grass, rip them out, and you get bit. If this thing is gonna get clogged up with grass, that could be a problem. That could be a challenge. So we're gonna see. That's what I wanna test out today when we get out there. Here's another one. So we've got the Jackhammer, which is the same blade as the original Chatterbait, a little better material. And then here's the Jackhammer Stealth blade, right? So it's got more of a translucent acrylic or plastic or some type of material. It's a tough material, but it's a smaller blade. So this is more of like my subtle approach. This is my clang and bang approach, where I just want to like hit them right on the head. The Jackhammer. Stealthy, not stealthy. That's kind of what we're looking at. Those are two really juicy, good looking go-to chatterbaits for me. They're fantastic. I love using them. And then we have the Strike King Thundercricket, or the Thunder Chicken, Thunder Goose. You pick your favorite name, whatever. That's what I like to call it. And this has a bigger blade when compared to the Googan Squad blade. It is not as wide, maybe a little bit taller. But sometimes you get these with like the paint on them too, which is cool. I do like this like gunmetal gray that the Googan Squad color comes in. But interesting, you know, to have like more of like the rounded approach. It chatters in a little bit of a different way. But the other cool thing about the Thundercricket, check this out, is that where it's mounted to, the jig head actually moves. So there's a ton more action with this thing. And it also really helps. Like, this is the one that I like to throw into dense cover, into the weeds, even around like laydowns, rocks, riprap, trees. Like, this thing tends to get through the junk. And I think it's mainly because it's got this wider jig head, as well as that mobile portion right there where the blade is. Like, it allows it to move and get through the cover and pull through a little bit easier. Here's one more for you guys. This is basically an original chatterbait with a football head, which is free moving. So this is the CFL Freedom. It's a chatterbait, but with that mobile football jig head, it's something that you can knock off of heavy cover as well. So that gives you a different approach to it. Just something else to look at. The other thing I want you to look at is like how the skirts are attached. So we've got like the silicone band, which is Thunder Crickets do that too. Original chatterbaits have like a little bit of a weaker material. It's just like a single ring, silicone ring that slides up over that. You have to replace these a bit more versus the Thunder Cricket and the Jackhammer having the doubled over. And then the nice thing about the Jackhammers is that they're tied on. So having the hand tied or the tied on skirt just lasts a lot longer, which is where I noticed, guess what? The Googans tied their skirts on and doubled them over. So it's double material skirt, which means it's gonna last longer, and it's tied on, which means it's more durable. So that was a big bonus. I like that about it. So the Googan Squad Clickbait is an $8.99 chatterbait, which is, you know, in and of itself, not a bad price, considering that the Thunder Cricket's usually around 13 bucks and the Jackhammer can be anywhere from like 15 to 18 bucks, depending on where you get it. If you're getting these from Carl's Bait and Tackle, for example, and you're a member of Carl's Club, then you also get free shipping and an added discount. So that's how I got my clickbaits, just saying. And I got them on Black Friday. So I think all in, I probably spent $6 a piece on these, which is, when you think about it, really not a bad price. That's pretty gosh dang cheap for a chatterbait. Oh, by the way, they have really nice hooks too. I feel like that's pretty sharp. So far, as far as the looks go, as far as the cost goes, this thing looks kind of nice. And compared to the original chatterbait, which is around $5.99, depending on where you buy it, if you get it on sale, you can get it for like $4 or $5. You know, this is like the cheapest option that I would possibly go with, and I think it looks pretty darn good. And it fishes well, and I've been fishing them in a ton of different colors for a long, long time. You're still getting a heckin' good deal with this Googan Squad Clickbait. It's gonna have to hold up in the water, so we gotta go put it to the test now. So I wanna get you like the most well-rounded review I possibly can. So let's go out to the lake real quick. I'm gonna fish these things around for a little bit. I'm gonna let you know kind of just my thoughts, first reactions to it as it's fishing through the water, and how it stacks up in terms of other chatterbaits, bladed jigs, vibrating jigs, whatever the heck you want to call them where you are fishing, right? So let's go test it out real quick, and then we'll come back to the office. 3, 2, 1, break. All right, let's test these bad boys out. Back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. Oh, there goes rabbit. Stuff and stuff, blah, blah, blah. All right, so we got some baits to test out today. I'm gonna pair her up with this juicy craw here. I think we can go this way. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go sideways. So it's kind of like these claws will flap kind of like that. Yeah, that'll work. We're gonna take off this top section. Not gonna litter. Put that in my bag. So now we got a shorter craw to work with. We're just gonna thread it in here. So, check it out. Got these claws flapping around there. I think that's gonna look good. Throw this on my medium heavy Bass X. Try this puppy out. Okay, so this is the Fire Craw, 3/8 of an ounce. Got a steady vibe. Starts vibing right away. Definitely a lot more movement, closer to like a Thundercricket. So Thundercricket has this like mobile attachment to the jig head, which makes it move a lot more. Feels good. I mean, feels like a chatterbait. This one's gonna rise lighter on a steady retrieve. It's gonna ride pretty high in the water column. Look at those, the claws though. See that? That's what I was going for. A little flip flap of the claws. I'm going for this brighter red color, which I think looks heckin' dope. I'm running over like a lot of grass right here, which in normal bite conditions earlier on in fall and later in spring, I'll probably have better luck with this. It's definitely a bit late for me to be hoping to get a bite on this bad boy. I'm not really holding out any hope here, guys, but I told you I'd at least get it on the water and test her out. I don't know what the steel balls are doing for me, but I like the movement of the blade. That's pretty good. Starts vibrating right away, which is what you want. Sometimes with like cheaper chatterbaits or you know, just funky connections to the jig head, you get this like late chatter where you really have to start reeling hard to get it going. And when I'm trying to slow down, like right now, that's really not practical. Oh, actually that time it didn't start chattering. That's interesting. Let's see if we can recreate that. Had like a little delay where it felt like I was just swimming it. I don't know if the blade got stuck or what. Let's try again. No, we're good now. Huh. Probably hung up in the grass or something like that. I don't know. I doubt they're this shallow. They're probably in 20-30 feet of water by now, or they're in very hard to reach positions from the bank. Hunkering down, not attacking moving food like this. Yeah, blade's starting up right away most of the time. By the way, guys, it's like as soon as the sun goes down, it'll be 30 degrees and our water temps are down under 40 at this point. Just a heads up. Not normally when I would be throwing a chatterbait, but for the people. See, if I was a pike just lurking around, this might look kind of juicy. I am having this thing happen where the blade doesn't move. It's now happened 4 or 5 times. Let's see what's going on here. Gosh dang dinner bell. Just saw something sitting right there. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, what the heck? All right, we're switching out to the blue craw. We're gonna see how the half ounce does. First initial reaction, this blade doesn't seem to start up as consistently as like the Jackhammer or the Thundercricket. It also, I'm not sure if it's because of the blade position with that wire there, it seems to ride a lot higher in the water column. So just, again, just initial thoughts. I'm just trying to give you guys my opinions. Doesn't mean I hate it or love it. All right, so I'm gonna throw one of these little Exo Swim 3.2s
on here. Love the look of these things. Gosh dang juicy color. Just gonna give a little extra pop to this. That looks, oh, that looks pretty juicy. I gotta say I dig that. By the way, I fish pretty stained water, and these fish are not too finicky. They're literally just not here and they're not eating. But I don't have a problem going like straight braid 90% of the year. All right, half ouncer. I'm gonna try and count out of 10 casts how many casts I have an issue with the blade starting up. So this first cast, blade's fine. Looks extra juicy in the water, you can see. Rides a bit lower naturally, it's heavier, it makes sense. There's a grass flat about 20 yards offshore here that's like 4 or 5 feet deep. So I want to run over that. See if I can get on either side of it, maybe where it drops off. Entice something. We got some monster pike, like gigantic pike out here. So if I can luck into one, it'd be amazing. It's definitely the type of bait that they would hit even this time of year. You can definitely get lucky. 3 for 3 on the blade vibrating, so it's good. Right over this grass flat. 4 for 4. This one's been more consistent. I don't know what was going on. That fire crawl one. Gets out of the grass just fine. It's a good bait. I like it. For the price, for sure. For $9, I'm getting a decent chatterbait. So, at this point, I'm going to be picking out nitty-gritty pieces that I don't like about it. 5 for 5 on this one. Maybe it's just like going too fast on that 3/8. Could be. Kind of surprised we're not even getting bumped. This one definitely rides lower. So, I mean, 3/8 is 1/8 of an ounce off of a half ounce. It's not that much of a weight difference. So I'm not sure what was going on with my fire craw. All right, let's try this puppy over here, huh? Yeah, still rocking this AccuCull grip saver. Liking it. Does not pull through the grass very well. The heck happened there, guy? Because that front blade might get a little more clogged up because it's front facing. Very surprised, just nothing out here has been biting lately. Like, nada. Not at all. Not gonna bite your lure, dude. It's weird. Yeah, so I think one thing to note is the way this is set up. It kind of gets clogged up with weeds. Last cast here, we're gonna just jig it back, see how that goes. So just jigging it back to you works better than the original chatterbait does, I would say.
All right, guys, final thoughts on the clickbait. I think for the price, it's kind of the deal. Like, and I hate to say it, I don't hate to say it, I have no grudge to be held. People ask me sometimes, like, do you like Googan Squad, Googan Baits? Do you have problems with them? No, I don't have problems with it. Why would I have problems with them? They didn't do anything to me. They didn't insult my mother, did they? Tell me. Just why should I have a grudge against them? I think they make, like, their plastics. I don't think they hold up well. I think they have great action. They just fall apart on me all the time. Not a big fan of those. Their body baits, I'll fish them. They're in my tackle box. They're not my go-to. They're decent. You know, what I say about most of their things is, like, if I were to rate them, they're a solid, like, 6 to 7 out of 10. It's not the thing I'm writing home about. It's not the thing I'm saying, like, you know, I will run to Dick's Sporting Goods and make sure I buy it no matter heckin' what. It's just the thing that's like, if I have it and I need it, it works for the situation, I'll fish it. It's just not my go-to, right? I think these are still gonna fall in the same spot because these are great. I think they fish well. I had a few issues with this one specifically where at times, I don't know if this was getting clogged up with grass or weeds or whatever, but it wouldn't start vibrating. And I'd have to like wind up my reel really fast to try and get it to start vibrating. That happened a few times with this. It literally never happened with the heavier blue craw. This one's a 1/2 ounce. This one's 3/8 of an ounce. So there's a little bit of difference as far as weight. I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but that was just interesting to me. I also noticed that they got bogged down in the grass a little more easily than I'm used to with like my Jackhammer or Thunder Crickets. So that's just something else to consider. So although it's a great lure, I'm never gonna deny that. I think it's great. I think for the price, it's fantastic. So if you're not looking to spend a ton of money, this might be your go-to, but I think in terms of usage, preferences, my preference is still gonna be straight up #1 Jackhammer, all-time favorite forever, no matter what, and you can't sway my opinion on that. I know they're expensive. There's a reason. They're fan-freaking-tastic. #2 is that Thunder Cricket, just because it's good for more conditions, and I really love fishing them. And then this is now probably going to be my #3, that Clickbait, which isn't like a bad spot in terms of my power rankings. That means it'll most likely be in my go-to Busby fishing box, where every time I go hit the bank or I hit the water, it's going to be in there. I'm going to fish these things more often. You'll hear more about it throughout the year. Next season when I can fish open water for bass and pike again. So if it starts just catching me more fish, it might move up, you know, rankings for me, #2, #1. I just can't put it ahead of Thunder Cricket or Jackhammer. But I will say it does kind of take home the cake, the medal, if you will, in terms of value. It's got a pretty solid value. And the action, at first I thought that action was going to be more gimmicky. I definitely don't believe that hype anymore. It's not a gimmick. It does have a unique action. It's, as I said when I was out on the water, not as, I thought like all the beads and stuff, man, it should be louder, right? It doesn't feel like it vibrates any harder than a Jackhammer or a Thunder Cricket does. It's just different. So if you are fishing, it's a windy day, your go-to is chatterbaits, but the Thunder Cricket's not working or the Jackhammer's not working, it's where you pull out something different. You try maybe the Clickbait. So I think it definitely has its merits. It definitely will fit in my tackle box, and I'll be using it more often, and you guys should definitely check it out. Again, if you're looking for them, you want the deal, Carl's Bait and Tackle. Unless you have Dick's Sporting Goods cash, then go to Dick's Sporting Goods or Bass Pro Shops or wherever the heck they sell this thing. Go pick it up. You might as well try one or two. I think it's unique. I think it throws something different to throw in the water. Does it live up to the hype of being like an amazing new #1 chatterbait? Heck no. But is it great? Absolutely. You should definitely try it out. Finally, what is your favorite chatterbait? Hit me up in the comments below. What's your go-to chatterbait? You a Jackhammer kind of person? You like that Thunder Cricket? You're a Clickbait only kind of guy or gal? I don't know. Well, let me know in the comments below. All right, you guys, so hopefully this video is helpful for you. If you've been looking at the Clickbait, you're trying to figure out if you click on the Clickbait or not, I think you should click on it. So hopefully I was able to help you out with that. If you like videos like this, gear reviews, unboxing videos, and fishing, consider subscribing to the channel. Stick around. I think you'll like this place. It's a pretty fun place to be. And then join me and my buddy Paul every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern for our live Burly Fishing podcast. You can hang out with us and talk to us and chat. It's a ton of fun. I would love to see you guys there. Other than that, I'll see you guys out on the water.